Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, tonight I am going to do an infinity pour. I love infinity pours and I want to have a good evening and have some fun, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've got a 16 by 20 inch deep edged canvas and I'm going to do it in blues, pinks with some black and white. So they're simple to do as well as being fun. What we want to do is, I have got, and these paints are really thin, unless they've thickened up since I've made them. It's still relatively thin. It doesn't really leave much of a mound. It doesn't really leave a mound. It mounds as soon as it touches, but it's gone straight away. So I've got magenta and pink, turquoise and phthalo blue, black and white, all in mont. The four colours are 33 grams paint, 57 grams Australian floetrol, and 22 grams water. The black and the white are half that amount. They are 16 grams paint, 28 grams floetrol, and 11 grams water. No silicone, nothing else added, but because they're thin, they will give cells and reactions in themselves anyway, which is kind of, infinity pours do that a lot. Ultimately, now we just pour in some paint. So pour in about a third, I reckon, of the pink, just a tad of white. Now we'll go some magenta, tad of black. And you want to kind of pour this a little bit of a dirty pour. More pink. Got a little bit of black. Magenta. Little bit of white. And the last of the pink. And I'll leave the black and white for the blue colours. So then we just, the last bit of magenta. Really simple, and you can do that in kind of any order. I just try to add a little bit of black and the white in between the colours. But they're all going to mix anyway because it's a dirty pour. And also, try and keep the black and the white separate. Don't put them in together. So that's the pink cup. Now we're going to get the blue cup, and we're just going to go the same. Bit of turquoise, bit of black, phthalo blue, bit of white, more turquoise, then we'll go some phthalo blue, might chuck in the rest of the black. So as you can see, it's not really one that's terribly hard to do. You just kind of chuck all the colours in. When you pour them in as a dirty pour, they kind of mix themselves up a little bit and you get cells and just more colour differences and reactions. Go the last bit of white. And then the rest of the turquoise. And that's the blue cup. As you can see, I'm already getting some cells and some reactions. Just going to put these together so they can go in the sink. Them out of the way. Now these two cups I'm just going to move over there for a second. get the canvas. So I put the canvas down and just tap the corners to make sure that it is level, because the paints are really thin. You don't want them to be not level. The canvas not to be level in this type of pour. Is that canvas in screen? Yep, that is. Now I'm going to put some gloves on just because this can get quite messy. So this is probably one of the fun pours. The hardest part for some people is actually just doing the actual infinity pour part of the cups. But it's pretty easy. You just need to spin the cups either anti-clockwise or clockwise, just so the paints are overlapping each other. So I'm just going to slightly pinch it. I don't want it overly pinched, but just enough. And then now this one looks like it's going to be more pink than anything else. And that was a matter of just spinning the cups until they're empty. It's probably going to be a little bit darker than I had planned. That's the only issue with black. Sometimes it does actually become quite dominant. When I've done these with black and there's not even a trace of black in it, just depends where it is and how it comes out. But you can always tip this off. So as you can see, very, very fluid. So you're getting cells and reactions already. But what we want to do is virtually just tilt this. I'm going to lose a lot of this blues. That's okay. So we're just going to go as close as we can to the corner. And then tip it over and back. And as you can see, because it's quite fluid, you got to kind of watch yourself. Now this part here as well, close to the corner, we're going to go over and back. Try and make sure that your sides are actually covered. Just, if not, get a bit of paint on them straight away, because it's really fluid, it will run off. So what I try and do is grab a bit of the colour that's close to that corner. Now we're going to come up this way. And we're going to go over that corner and back. And then I'm going to come and do this top part over there and back. Now before I go further, I'm going to check that that side is done. And that corner has paint. Yep. And now we just got the last corner to do. Definitely more black than I was planned for, but I can actually tilt that off to a degree. So we're going down to this corner. And over the corner and back. But then when I want to get that little side bit too, over that side, bring it back a bit. Okay, I haven't got that side enough. Because it's a deep edged canvas, I actually have to get the paint over it. Okay, there we go. Double check that corner is covered. And now we've got this bottom part to do. So bringing it down. Over that bottom. Come back. Now if there's any part that you're not that keen on, now is the time to tilt it off. So moving around a little bit will give you some more effects come up, but you can also alter your picture a lot. So just watch what you're doing. Don't know if I'm going to be able to alter it too much more without changing too much of its imagery. It will alter itself. Being so thin, the paint will kind of shift a little bit and settle to where it wants to go, and more pearls or cells will appear. I can see more cells appearing as I go, so I'm probably not going to do too much more. Put it down there, I can see it shifting itself. So if you do leave too much paint on, it will sag in the middle and you'll end up getting quite stretched edges and a lot of paint down in the middle. Alright, I'm going to get my gloves off. So again, this did not turn out anywhere near like what I had planned in my head. I was expecting a lot less black, and your brands of paint will make a difference too. I think when I use the Mont black, I get more black. When I use other brands, I actually get a lot less. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a torch to pop any bubbles. And that is about it. There's not much more that I can do now, but it will continue to change. Like, can you see how I'm getting these black kind of cells appear? Down here I'm getting some black and then some pink ones. Up there I'm getting some, I think they were up there earlier, but as this settles in, you kind of get cells that decide they're going to appear wherever they want to. It's not exactly the composition I was planning for, but at the same point in time, I actually don't mind it. Sometimes you're better off to actually let it dry and look at it again another day, because especially when you had a plan in your head of what you were expecting, and it doesn't always turn out that way. I haven't got one with me that I can show you which I was hoping for, getting the same type of imagery, but I think it's kind of cool. So now we just leave this to settle, do its thing, and it's a quick and easy pour to do. You don't use as much paint because you do add quite a bit of floetrol or quite a bit of water. You're actually not using, like, each colour was only 33 grams of paint, so it's actually not overly. Depends how much you pay for your floetrol. I don't think it's overly expensive to make this type of art, and you get really different effects each time. And the pink and the turquoise are both opaques, and the magenta and the phthalo blue are semi-transparent. So it will dry relatively close to what it is. The lighter colours are what actually is the opaque, so they will definitely stay as bold as they are. Some of the phthalo blue down here might darken a little bit as it dries. But yeah, that's it everybody. Let me know what you think. So comment about it, like the video, share and subscribe if you have not already. And I'll be doing another pour probably tomorrow. I finally got a day off where I don't actually have to do too much else, maybe some housework, but I'll have time to actually do another painting, so I'm excited about that. And this also usually dries relatively quickly, especially when it's warmer weather. They don't really take as long to dry as something that was using like a glue. But I'm going to pause it and bring you down for a close-up. So there's the whole image. Got the ring light happening over here on this side, but overall it's quite different. But as you can see, cells and reactions all over the place. You just get little bits and pieces. And these are fun ones to do with people that haven't actually painted before. It's kind of exciting. And you really don't know what you're going to get until you kind of pour it and see what happens. But yeah, I hope you guys like this. Hope you enjoyed it. A bit of fun. And we'll see you soon for another pour. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.